Good luck with an Ambessa, Galio, Alistair, and J4 coming for this Yunara.
Yeah.
Maybe Nongshim are going to bank on the fact that the other damage dealers will be able to bring the fights home, because I'm praying for my marksman buddy down here, Ulk.
Don't think it'll change too much for the timer around the grubs in 4 minutes, but if Gideon can maybe squeeze a little bit more XP.
Okay, Chris re-engages onto Gideon. The red buff hasn't been taken. Flash Talk comes across to Xiao, who gets onto 2 members. They're trying to just burn through Gideon's health bar. Doesn't flash out the flag and drag. Light's over the wall. Calyx picks up the first blood, but he is very low, and Light is relatively untouched and ignored in this one. No flash for the Croc, and it's just going to be a matter of seconds. Oh my god, Light starts the back. He didn't even want the kill. He wants the reset instead. Weibo successfully defend their bot side jungle.
His Gromp and his Wolves, and all of this advantage that Nongshim was able to get in the early parts of this game, kind of neutered at this point. It is just Lehens now sticking around. Xiaohu can be here. Whoa, whoa,
That is the
whoa.
shortest flag and drag you have ever seen in a competitive League of Legends game. Tien throws the thumbs up as the full taunt combo goes on to Gideon, who is just completely homeless in this game by this point. Already down 20% HP. Tien's going to re-engage on top of Lehens as well with the flag and drag. And here's that beefy CC-oriented frontline. Tien flashes after Lehens. He's just bopping him with his staff. Guesses right on the clone. Waiting for his cooldowns, but the Tangle Barb comes up first. Flag and drag comes across, and Tien, when we thought he was
gonna die
out of his jungle, is now 2-0 ahead. He's stabilized. And Tien, oh, you were right. I was wrong. You know what? This is why Ulk's such an
I was getting
analytical
gaslit
mind.
for 0, dog. I was like,
were.
whatever, I'll just let it happen. I didn't see that. I was like, maybe I didn't see it. Breathe,
Okay,
breathe.
just flashed back towards the enemy turret because he thought Chris would get over the wall in time. But it seems like he stalled out long enough. Good punt out from Chris. Tien and Chris took 3 turret shots, by the way, just to make sure Breathe doesn't die. And yeah, you know what, Chris? You earned that one, big dog. 4th kill in a row for Weibo.
All right, so what camps can Gideon get? He got Dragon, and he's going to look to try to invade.
Xiaohu is walking upriver. So he does have that hero's entrance. Chris is going to gauge in. Xiaohu can join much faster than Kingin, so Nongshim have to be very careful about this engagement. They're going to cease assist on top of Tien. They're trying to get the shutdown, and they will before Xiaohu lands through. That is claimed by Calyx as he goes dominant form. And somehow, some way, Nongshim are making this grub fight work. They are now on even footing 4-on-4. Jiwoo's Transcendence is coming, taking down his bubble execution, comes across from Breathe. They're going after Jiwoo on the back end, but he gets stunned up, locked out, and the magic carpet comes down. Breathe is trapped with no way out, and there's no way for Weibo and friends to save him.
We just don't have enough damage. Once Jarvan is dead, that kind of is a large portion of our damage in the early game here. It is a 8-minute Sundered Sky. I don't see why he flashes, but maybe he's expecting to get engaged upon. That's Kingin dying in the picture-in-picture. And then this ultimate, there's just no lockdown. All of this crowd control from Nongshim doing a good job of layering so that they can take down the jungler.
Breathe to flash, but will survive that gank. As we see on the bot side, it's going to be a Drake trade here for Tien. So we will split that win con 1 apiece here to get this flank set up around.
Okay, the teleport before was just gaining them vision priority. You can see by having the scuttle is doing a lot of work here. Breathe is not going to use his teleport to join. He's going to try to walk to this fight first. 4,000 HP. Here comes a TP from Kingin.
Kingin, Pop Blossom from Lehens is going to get headbutted out, but it does secure the Rift Herald here for Nongshim. 1 slow lands onto Crisp. They've got Calyx with the Dominus already going. Playing. Sacrifice the 3rd dragon, like you mentioned. No Dominus, no Pop Blossom, especially with the game state we have now. Makes it a pretty hard sell for Nongshim to fight through. So we'll have the 2nd Drake, the 1st Infernal, going over towards the Weibo side. First break could play a pretty key role into these feats of strength.
Or Nongshim RedForce to get Kingin, another wave. Calyx.
Breathe. Yep, just going to have to commit the flash there. There's just no way to really contest with this Croc at this current juncture. Gideon's going to Vault Breaker in. Tien says, all right, I'll throw down the Cataclysm. Chris goes in as well, but the Transcended Jiwoo on this Yunara is pumping a ton of damage. Gets knocked up by Xiaohu, but he's not going to go after the Yunari. Instead goes to try and taunt many members of Nongshim. That was the one thing that they couldn't really afford, is Jiwoo is able to find the 1 kill onto Tien. Untouched Yunara is going to be a problem, and Nongshim are reminding Weibo early.
Oh, does Kingin get this? This is very close. The flash coming out from Chris. Kingin's going to try to search for it. Doesn't get the stop onto Light's back, but this will be the mid-tier 1 falling. All the while, Calyx is on a side lane right now, constantly pushing. And who is going to be able to match? Breathe is teleporting him, but he doesn't have the public execution. What are we looking for? No teleport, no flash? We're losing a turret for free. Maybe we lose 2 turrets for free. 3.
It's definitely, yeah, it might even be 3. Weibo really kind of just panicking on the map right now. Oh, Alex nearby with Lehen. Nothing's really. They're just pushing down here to grab this top tier 1 turret. So this is going to be Nongshim knocking down all the outer turrets. And again, I want to just highlight Calyx, not just for his lead, but the items he's turned them into by this point. For a skirmish mid-game comp like this Croc wants to operate in, Sterax and Black Cleaver. I don't know how we kill off Calyx unless he rudely mispositions.
And he's going to get like a bonus 600 HP because he just pressed his ultimate. Tien's going to search.
Oh, heads Pop Blossom to hold everybody at bay. Already popped Alistair's ultimate, but very, very low. It's Xiaohu with the flank on the back end as Calyx is trapped in the Cataclysm. They're going to try and turn on to Xiaohu. Going to get back out, go back in with the hero's interest. Jiwoo is going to get knocked off to the side. Calyx not close enough for a Cold the Beak, but it doesn't matter. Gideon with Jiwoo's damage is more than enough to just barrel through all of Weibo. Flash forward comes across for Gideon, wants to pick up a third, make it a fourth. They're looking for Bree with the Flame Spitter, but Nongshim just run Weibo over on the top side.
I mean, Nongshim just straight up win the game after what has been a hectic 3 minutes for Weibo.
They're going to try and see if Tien can get in for a hero steal on this Otacon. Can he flag and drag his way in? It's low enough for him to go for it. Tien steals the Otacon. A lifeline for Weibo.
Which is more lives, more gold going over in favor of Nongshim. They're going to make this play into Calyx.
But the damage, do they have enough of it? There's the Sterax shield. The wave is completely gone. Calyx 1 versus 3. He says, bring another. Light shows up here to try and at least find the kill, and they will get it thanks to the public execution. But the Vault Breaker cease and desist combo. Gideon locks down Breathe under the turret, and now Light gets caught, has to flash, but Kingan's damage and Gideon's Vault Breaker find the trade. The cooldowns reset, and Gideon wants more. Calyx outplays the dive, and everything on the map is just going Nongshim's way.
So many turrets down. It is 22 minutes, and we're going to basically have what is going to feel close to a 10,000 gold deficit for the LPL.
If objectives spawn on the map, they are going to be all over them. Second Infernal Soul, Drake, going to be claimed here by this point. And we can start seeing even more gold in the items for Nongshim. The main thing I want to kind of highlight, Alk, we were a bit critical of the Yunara pick. Jiwoo has made it work, and more importantly, 3-item Yunara in a game like this. That'll cool things down for now, unless Nongshim want to find a flank, and they've actually caught Light out here. Valkyrie and Gideon's going to turn his attention back towards the rest of Weibo. And camp together. Taunt from Xiaohu, not going to land. It's Gideon over the wall. The cease and desist, though, onto Tien. He takes a couple of turret shots. He takes about 3 of them. Has to flash himself out. Breathe wants to go after with a flash of his own, but he falls into the wall, and Jiwoo finds the trade. Yunara Transcendent. Let's see how many autos he can get down. The Pop Blossom onto 3 is definitely going to give him enough value to just turn into a living machine gun and ram down Weibo under their own tier 2 turret. Give him a double. Nongshim cannot lose a fight right now.
Goes for naught. Baron now at half HP. Weibo are going to try to walk in, but Light is half. Calyx can TP back into this play, and Lehens is about to have that Pop Blossom coming back
Calyx. Up. Calyx is canceled trying to back, so he's got to stick around. Weibo need to either decide to go for the Baron or go for the all-out fight here because they're taking a lot of damage. Kingan is full HP on the top side of this, corralling Weibo. It's Calyx and Kingan keeping all of Weibo pinched. Gideon goes into the pit. Vaultbreaker's back out. Light's already dead. It's once again Tien to secure a big objective, but the Pop Blossom is just bigger. Bree tries to get back towards Jiwoo, but there isn't enough damage. Xiaohu to rescue it. No, an ace in the Baron pit for Nongshim as they have run over this game 1.
They're going to teleport 2 members mid. Can they actually end is another question. It's still 30-second death timers. 3 grubs, no Baron at their backs, and barely a minion wave here to help them. Calyx doesn't have Dominus either. I think this is a little risky. This might just be inhibitor and recall. All right, that's going to be the call coming on through for our Noodle Boys.
Them currently, and Calyx bringing the bottom lane wave up. They do not care about top turrets. That is going to be objective bounty that Xiaohu gets, and he will be able to reset here. So a little bit of a gold investment paying off there for Weibo now, but they've got much more pressing matters on the bot side of the map.
It doesn't get much better for them. They're going to have to fish with their bodies, move forward. Dragons very freely going over to Nongshim. The best part of this game was definitely them somehow getting both the Otacon and the Dragon and the Baron because it's kept them.
Is now such a shortcoming against Nongshim. I'm gonna give you time to think about it because Tien is on a mission of his own. He's trying to deliver an AP Galio to the back line. They are just going to jump on top of Gideon. That is 3 ultimates to kill off Gideon, and they do. Jiwoo goes transcendent, dodges Crisp on his pulverized forward. Flag and Drag comes across. There's the Cataclysm. They're getting all the knockups onto Jiwoo. He flashes away, but he doesn't have enough damage. Tien takes him out. Calyx cannot get onto Light on the backside, and Kingin is caught up Creek with no paddle right now. And a flash after Light goes into the stages, but Calyx now goes down. Tien hand delivers Weibo a huge flank, and out of nowhere, they wipe down 4 shutdowns off the map.
It was a 9,000 gold lead, now cut in half in favor of Weibo. Lahen's getting chased around the map. I think it is bad. He needs to die soon. Baron spawns in a minute and a half, and they still need time to set up and get all of their objectives. Now, what are Weibo able to get in this one during all of this? It'll be a mid-tier 1. It'll be them pushing on the mid-tier 2, on the top lane tier 2s with Breathe.
Knocking for position with this Baron on the Rift for a second time.
All right, side lanes are going to stack, but in opposite directions. Weibo will have an advantage on... Oh, Xiaohu is dead.
Remember, he's pretty squishy. He has to flash over the wall. Breathe goes in the background. Here comes the hero's entrance through again. The knockups land. GA off of Jiwoo. Nongshim are going to have to fight without their big 80 carry. He finally respawns, but is immediately bopped back down by Xiaohu. The crowd control and the superior front line shows up once again. A complete seesaw of a game 1, but Weibo have found a way to make their fight sing. It's only Kingin trying to delay time once more, but it's a Weibo ace with 4 up. Are they gonna backdoor this game, Hulk?
No, I don't think that's possible. They don't have enough damage right now. It's just gonna be Xiaohu getting themselves a mid-tier 2 for Nongshim to throw, but the Noodle Boys can only do it in such spectacular fashion. Of course, it is only Weibo that can make games like this happen on our screen.
Listen, Hulk, the Galio flanks looked pretty dire and bad earlier, but now he's getting engaged on flashing and behind, re-entering with the hero's entrance as he does now, as they all try and dump onto Calyx. That's a really good rumble, though, from Kingin. And Weibo have to respect it. They do get the dominance out of the croc. Both solo lanes for Nongshim lose their ultimates. But Xiaohu without the hero's entrance. It's Tien that still holds on to the Cataclysm.
They need help.
Public execution available, but yeah, HP bars are a problem.
Tien needs to be able to get into this pit right now. They have Baron, but this is going to be Soul going over to Nongshim if they get this.
Oh, the hands, 3-man Pop Blossom. Light gets himself out. Breathe able to kite back well. Xiaohu's going to be re-engaged. All he's using for Breathe. He gets Jiwoo again. But look at the top of your screen. Dragon is at 2.5k health, and Calyx knows he flashes onto Tien and makes sure that Nongshim secure the soul. Tien re-engages onto Jiwoo, but he's far too low. And the Yunara untouched again is a big, bad problem for Weibo to deal with. These fights have gone back and forth, and now it's Nongshim trying to swing back.
What?
He lost Jiwoo, and Breathe is unleashed. He's running, just dashing over and over again, and he's found kill after kill. It's Jiwoo and the Head's the only one that are left up. Xiaohu dashes forward. A big Q is going to fall just a bit short, and Gideon gets himself out with the Infernal Soul secured for Nongshim. So both these teams are going to have to really hone in and prioritize going for some of these plays. But Weibo, you mentioned, feel like they need to win now. They can't go for anything else. They dump a ton of damage into Lahen's. This game has been defined by a lot of things. The early jungle starts and just these raw team fights from these short-range compositions. As Xiaohu is flashing on top of Calyx to get the taunt into the 2 flag drag knockup. They send Breathe into the back line, try to cut down Jiwoo, but Jiwoo is stuck between everyone coming in the backside of the fight, and the untouched Yunara might just be Weibo's undoing. All these GAs popped, but Jiwoo is just rolling through all of these Weibo health bars, and with his own GA, he's going to shut down Breathe and come back up firing once more. Like it's a really close redemption. But he needs to find these rockets.
So much time controlling the top side that now we're waiting for Elder to spawn. Now Gideon in a flank. Does Xiaohu end up marking him? They have had no eyes as to where Gideon has been this entire play.
The Elder is very low. Gideon's close enough to smite. Tien has stolen away 2 huge objectives already, but there's the Pop Blossom onto 4 from Lahen's. Chris dives in after the Yunara. Jiwoo is now down. Can they? Who finds the Elder? That's who's going to win this fight, and it's Gideon that secures it. Back into the back end, those Tien, he drops the captain onto 2. Kingin gets popped.
What?
Heads out of the GA, dies. It's only Calyx with no GA to contest with versus the top side of Weibo. No Elder, no problem. Weibo are going to win a climactic start to our series.
How the hell do you get Infernal Soul and the Elder and you lose? Nongshim, what the hell happened here? Weibo, down everything. Down gold, down experience, down objectives. Find game number 1 by any means necessary.
No gold, no objectives, just vibes. And a goated jungler in TN. Started off hot, ends even hotter, and Weibo are 1-0 up against Nongshim.
To the Orianna, we need to find ways of threatening Calyx in the mid lane, because otherwise I think he should have a very easy game to play.
I don't hate the Aatrox. I think the Ornn would have been better. I'm definitely with you all.
He's going to try and make that gambit. He knows with the ward on the Raptors that they hasn't started it quite yet. Calyx now, actually getting Dovener's turret.
All right, he's going to flash early. Tien's going to land a Sonic Wave. A Resonating Strike comes through. He flashes out of the turret wrench. And Tien is once again dialed with his second first blood of our series.
Grubs, but if there's a later dragon, maybe Lehens will have his ultimate. And we're seeing a fight for red buff now.
Or we don't care about XP because we are realm warping on top of Gideon. They get the double Taric stun with the lights go out. Gideon just trying to create distance. He's going to re-engage into a 4-man shockwave. And Weibo are completely stunned. Calyx gets his revenge. Light flashes with a blade caller to get one back, but that is a measly morsel. Boom goes the dynamite for the Nocturne Orianna combo.
The Killer Instinct that's still available. And Kingan's in the area and still has the Unstoppable Onslaught. So Nongshim get their cake and eat it too for this play.
One caveat for Weibo. Tien off that one grub does get the kick on. So Tien has that available. Taric's not going to land. It's Gideon onto the grubs. He has smite advantage for the time being, but it's Tien's going to engage onto Lehens without that Taric gold. Much more susceptible to engage with the flash. Unstoppable Onslaught hits onto Light, and they cut down the Xayah where she stands. Taric finally gets the trade back, but Xiaohu gets rounded and knocked up. It's the power of the Scion CC coming through for Nongshim, and they do get to eat those grubs up 2 for 1, and get to play a fun game of where's Tien going to try and leave? Well, he's just going to use his teammate to get on out there, so at least Tien escapes, but Nongshim, another early game where they are just much more in control.
And Calyx does have flash.
Don't think he should even burn it here. Maybe he's going to try and kill off Breathe. He does have Shockwave. Going to use it here. Breathe flashes out of it knowing that he would have been the trade kill there, and Calyx will be picked off with a juicy shutdown that Tien will claim. Good play there back from Weibo, but it comes at a cost as always.
Here for Calyx, I really wish Breathe hadn't had flashed. It kind of felt like you could have gone through that play without using it. If he just backs off, let your mid and jungle take care of the situation. He's going to fish.
Action.
That is tough.
Xiaohu on the flank. Gideon turns the lights off. He's going to re-engage on top of the Xayah. The Blade Caller doesn't get the snare there from Light. Can Gideon glide this one out? Jiwoo's trying to throw down some damage. Tien is going to eat the stun. The Plasma Stacks are coming through here. It's a Killer Instinct 4 for Jiwoo, but immediate kick from Tien. He flashes himself back out. Blade Caller from halfway across the screen. Light gets the kill on the Lehens. The Rune Prism roots up Jiwoo, but he flashes after Xiao, who has to commit his own flash. And the Feather Storm coming down here from Light. It's to clear, and we will finally see the first Drake of the game knocked down at 12 minutes, and that makes...
Fights are going to take control of the bottom side. Tien's going to open up into try first. Thankfully, a single ward here as well. Xiaohu's teleporting over.
Tien, he wants to kick on to Jiwoo. They're going to use the Cosmic Radiance, but can they get the Kaisa down before? No. Transcends into a godlike form. Will come out of it and Killer Instinct back towards his team as they lose Crisp already. Flashes from Gideon, but the Custom Blow still land here. Tien's going to ward hop forward, and Gideon will be traded out.
Numbers for Weibo Gaming.
I think they're down a Herald, too. That thing is just completely cooked up and will fall. I guess they get a wave shoved into mid lane, some gold back to Light.
Kingan's going to be so strong in this fight. Like, who is going to kill him later on in the game? Maybe a 4-item Xayah, but it looks like with the items that he has in his inventory, he's going to go Infinity Edge second. He still needs to get LDR.
Ooh, good little dodge with the Feather Storm, but I suspect a slow coming across. Jiwoo, once again, cannot evade Tien, but this time he has something to say about it. Ward hop back towards Light. A lot of these feathers coming down, but again, they don't get the Blade Caller snare. But luckily, Crisp is here. Gust of Blow stun. Can they cut down the Scion earlier? No, they have to respect Jiwoo's damage. And Gideon, everyone is flashing everywhere. But as Jiwoo finds the kill, they realm warp in. Light's going to try to get a kill. Supposed to see it back. He gets a good Blade Caller down. Taric to the rescue to make sure Kingan doesn't fall as well. a very big long shot, especially now that we've split the first two, that anybody gets this soul, and Weibo say, yeah, there's no reason for us to really create any action there. Let's just resituate to cruise on in with the Herald. Tien and Breathe both show, so Weibo's full 5-4 versus Nongshim's. Lights go out. They're going to engage on top of Light. He uses the Feather Storm, though. Cosmic Radiance comes out a bit early. Weibo need to play this patiently out as the Taric ult does tick away. Chris goes back forward. Shockwave is only going to find Xiaohu, but he can walk himself out as well. Light, though, going to eat the Taric. Going to get blown up. Light completely out of position and ruins all of Weibo's momentum. And oh boy, they hit the Void Seeker on the Breathe, and Jiwoo flies right after him and has no problem cutting down the Aatrox. Light's misposition is to the dismay and demolishment of Weibo.
That was a really well-played fight coming in from Nongshim. Turn off the lights, as you had mentioned. And, I mean, Weibo just did not look on top of point.
Weibo. Now they're in desperation mode. They're trying to just force down this Octocon. Void Rush, Void Seeker, oh my gosh, I'm getting my Void abilities mixed up. Killer Instinct coming up for Jiwoo, so he can join any fight here. Tien has been much better on the Smite Key this game. Will he win again against Gideon? No, it's secured by Nongshim, and oh my god, Xiaohu got deleted on the front side of this fight, and a Scion comes out of the top screen with a deadly teleport flank. Weibo went desperation mode for an Octocon to try and save this game too, and they come up with nothing but grains of sand.
And Nongshim, this is the reason why this Orianna is so dangerous. Like, you're going to be walking into Fog of War. You're going to play into this fight.
Any sort of big-time team fight, mostly here from Breathe. It's Weibo again going after Calyx and his shutdown. Nearly going to stasis as Tien takes up the turret. He's going to flash after Tien and force his flash. Good little look on the Shockwave to at least trade some summoners. But Weibo will complete the dive, as always, at a cost.
I'm okay with this, though. They're the team that has the objective bounties. Pity prizes going over to Weibo. They're going to look for more here. A second one might be good enough, but do Nongshim just end the game?
Scion ult knocks the turrets down low. Cosmic Radiance is going to make them very strong to fight in these close quarters. And oh my god, it's Jiwoo again. He's just running down Breathe. There's the kill found in the fountain. Another stun from her hands into this Tien Lee Sin. It's one Nexus turret that's doing a lot of work, though. Light getting some of these blades down, but the blade caller falls short, and he doesn't even cast his Feather Storm or his Flash. But I guess his death is a martyr to save Weibo in this game. Jiwoo's back up and racing towards his squad with no Killer Instinct, so he's going to have to walk the whole way here. Weibo, this is not a dragon we really need to fight over, given how far behind you are.
You just lose the game otherwise.
Yeah, I guess we just scrap it out. Tien wants to go for Flact on the Calyx, but he finds Jiwoo, and oh my god, that is AD Carry's balance and all of their holy matrimony. Jiwoo comes in at the last second, shuts down the flank, and that is it for Weibo. They made it close. They made it decently close at the end with some dive shenanigans, but this time Nongshim will retain a massive gold lead and win the game behind it. We go the distance in our first ever match of the ASI knockout stage.
There it is. Okay, let's get over to game number 3. Let's bring up our cams. I mean, sure, it also is a champion that if you get hit with a cocoon, you don't have the natural tank stats that some of the other engaged supports have, so you will just get blown up.
Much here. I'm curious to see what Chris wants to do, though, right? Because they've gotten a huge lead for Light. I think he's pretty comfortable in this lane unless he really misplays. So where can Chris go to try to further accentuate this lead here for Weibo in the early phase? Good little dodge there from Lehens, but he is going to have to flash. Tien predicts it, gets the stun. One more auto from Light with the lethal tempo. No,
he's
and
dead.
The turret's actually going to get Lehens for his blood. Oh, Light.
Because you know that you have an advantage. You know that Jinx is weak. And, I mean, she only has... Oh, God, Breathe is probably dead too now.
Yeah, Pillar for the slow. Breathe doesn't even flash. He has to respect whenever the Elise and Caitlyn are together. There's a lot of burst potential. Kingen flanking around in Mininar form. Gideon and Lehens are leading a bit of a charge. It's a Weaver's Wall coming down to try and trap Tien, and we might have to see one of those flashes come off the board. Or Tien just dodges any sort of crowd control and walks right back in to the belly of the beast. First grub down there. Kingen going to get engaged on with that Glacial Prison. Lehens gets a two-man knockup, though, on Light and Chris. The rocket sinks through. Kingen is not going to be able to transform pretty soon here. Light is going to have to flash over the wall. The pillar, though, is really well placed there from Gideon. And the gold-leading Light Caitlyn is cut down.
Full grub that does go over to Weibo, but this is the value that Trundle, I always talk about. Trundle pillar, man. Tien getting here, I mean, right now what we're kind of looking at is whether or not Nongshim can get to 2 items, because Jinx would be really strong. Caitlyn is still waiting to finish a collector here. They're taking control of mid.
All right.
Oh,
Sidestep.
icy
Shimmy.
cold.
What can Chris really do to stop this? He's going to try and clear the way with Spiderlings? Yeah, I think he's just a bystander. This is going to be first turret. All of those, this is, wow, that gold lead really just balloons out of nowhere. 1,000 gold up for Nongshim, and again, they're the comp that doesn't have that Emperor's Divide. Xiaohu does have the ult coming back up shortly. Will he look to get crafty here out of the brush? Waiting for Calix to step forward. There's the seismic shove missed. Xiaohu.
No!
Right. Okay.
Oh!
It was Elevate. Light drops the ace in the hole, gets the kill on the bot side. We see Jiwoo. Oh boy. They're going to get the Jinx the reset. There it goes. Jiwoo gets excited. Breathe. You cannot hold on to that flash much longer, my friend. Trundle Pillar's going to force it out. Leheads goes after him for a grand entrance. It's a little short.
Side lane gold for Azir is nice. He'll finish his first item coming out of base here. This has to be an Asher suit. That's good. This is a good, I guess, recompense for what has been going on. Breeze should be able to survive. There's a Hellbar behind.
Xiaohu. He held on to his ultimate, and Hardbar into 2, though. Breathe is fine. Crisp has the repel if he needs it. Does get knocked up, or maybe he doesn't have the repel. He's cut down first. Xiaohu has to use the Emperor's Divide defensively, but the Trundle Pillar and the power of Jinx. Xiaohu's flank is brought to a grinding halt. And Nongshim turned their attention to more turret plates, and they're actually going to lose the plating now. They're just going to pick up this bot tier 1. Nongshim have so much more real estate on the map right now. Yanni Turbo lose on Elise after like the first 15 minutes.
He griefed me today, bro. He griefed me on this champion today. He was very old on the Elise.
It's just, all right,
we go.
We'll save those discussions. Tien, the only tank? Yep, blown up. Jiwoo gets the reset. A lot of damage out of Light on the backside. Calix flashes out, but he's on vision. Ace in the hole. Light gets a kill back here, but the problem is Jiwoo is accelerated, and Breathe is the next one to learn to pay the toll. Nice little slam there from Kingin, and there's nothing for Light to do. Flash doesn't matter because they constantly have to be clearing out vision in their own jungle, looking out for Lehen's in their own jungle. This Trundle, this Jinx, this Talia that could pop out from anywhere. It's what really slows down any comeback mechanics for this one, and, well, a pillar wall combination.
Them away from the mid lane. Maybe they even get themselves an excited proc here. See that Jiwoo is connecting with the rest of the team as Gideon wants to look for something, but it is Breathe on a side lane. Try to finish this turret. He'll get it with the Demolish proc and the almost Trinity Force he has. It is going to be an objective bounty going over to Weibo, but they're losing everything else around the map. A turret falls in mid for Jiwoo.
That is a plus gold trade. Crystal gonna try and blow him up. Redemption value. There it is for Lehen's. But Glacial Prison is much better. Jiwoo flashing away, but Chris will follow with the repel, and Lehen's is gonna get bailed out by another clutch Trundle Pillar. But I love the Spear of Visage second from Gideon. I think it's actually really cracked. Mainly because you're looking at Elise, Jax has some AP, and then Azir, and then also there's no heal cut, so that Subjugate will actually heal you a lot with the Spear Visage, so we'll see how
the Spear Visage plus his W giving him an increased healing as well. He's pretty dangerous to deal with. I like the shout out there. This Otacon is for free, unless Tien makes a miracle steal, which we've seen time and time again.
Nice Weaver's Wall.
Oh!
And he gets flicked, but he gets close enough. Oh my god, that went down to 1,300. They do flick Kingin back, but he just hops back over the wall and follows the rest of his team, and now Gideon's unleashed. Not a good recipe for this Jax that really needs those levels.
Damn.
And just time to scale here. Time to start knocking on more turrets. Gideon loves swinging that club at structures. Bot lane tier 2 to go to the wayside. And you're starting to see the, oh my god, the power that Xiaohu is not able to wield, losing his flash now. The power for Crisp. It's so hard to play this Elise out once these comps just group up. Oh, it does set up for a good headshot, so at least Light gets one kill back. It supports traded. Oh my god, Light's damage is ludicrous. On to Kingin. Gideon having to block the ace of the hole, or that would have been a double up.
Boots here from Nongshim. It's MR, and then MR here for Lehen's. There is no armor here coming on through from Nongshim, so they think the most important members are going to be Tien and Xiaohu here. Maybe even trying to stop a little bit of that damage from Crisp. It's the Dragon going over to our LCK's representative.
Yeah, pretty significant lead, so they're going to overload back towards the top side again. I think, oh, hold on. They get the Cocoon onto Calix into Glacial Prison, but he flashes back. There isn't enough damage coming through from Xiaohu. They're going to get the flank onto Breathe. Calix is in desperate danger. Nongshim, can they even rescue this at all? No. They're going to have to secede their mid laner. The clock is about to get sped up because Baron is here. Nongshim won't have the side lanes in the best spot. Xiaohu's now going to reset, but Gideon doesn't care.
Xiaohu can teleport for this play. Kingen also will not have Mega Gnar for this, so this is now a window for Weibo to try to get into the pit here. Tien's moving up forward with Breathe. Crisp is right behind him, and Xiaohu is just now entering the play. Baron might go over.
Oh, Tien, though, look, he's trapped up next to the pillar. Gideon just needs to finish the Baron. Tien can't get it. He tries to flash desperately, but it goes down. And Jiwoo gets excited off the Baron and doubles up on the kill on top of Tien. Charm knock up onto Light. That was a served up supper for Gideon to munch down on, courtesy of Lehens. Breathe with the Counter-Strike stun is just going for a desperate play. It's Xiaohu with a huge flick back, but it was too little, too late, and they might have just signed their death warrant with the solos dropping. Nongshim may have sputtered in game one, but they've looked dominating ever since, and they will go to the upper semifinals of the Asia Invitational with a game 3 win over Weibo.
That's going to be Nongshim going and waiting for tonight's opponents. BNK Fearex versus D plus Kia. And now Weibo waiting for either of these opponents in the lower bracket.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.